Greetings, everyone. I want to take this rare privilege to recognize the presence of every member who is part and parcel in this session. I want to recognize the presence of Mr. Wale Nelson. Allow me to recognize the presence of Mr. Clement Molai. I also want to recognize the presence of Mr. Justin Nathaniel. Pardon my pronunciation. I want to also take this rare latitude to recognize the presence of Mr. Manish. Please pardon my response, and our coordinator for Zambia, Mr. Mulea Eugene. Accord me this latitude as well to recognize the presence of Mr. Pramod Pathak and Mr. Niramaya, if I'm not mistaken. Pardon my pronunciation. Last but not the least, allow me to take this rare latitude to recognize and welcome Dr. Tips Sasikumar. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be pronounced, but we appreciate your coming. For the first time, I believe we're having this session for the very first time, and it is a rare latitude, a rare platform to sit in one accord with members from different parts of the world to discuss on critical development matters which have the muscle or the ability to propel or accelerate development in our different bisections. Before Doc or others can come in, allow me to invite Mr. Mulea Eugene. I want to believe he has to say something, and you should be the one to call upon Doc to come on board and address many issues with reference to today's meeting. Mr. Mulea, sir, you can come.
Mulea has to unmute. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Brother Thomas. Thank you. Greetings to you, everyone. Wherever you are watching us from, I'd love to welcome you to today's meeting. Many appreciations to our doc for this great initiative. Indeed, African youth needs to be productive. Just like what our speaker was just left us or say, we need to have youths who are going to do something for this Africa. So I want to appreciate the initiative, Doc, you have come up with. But before I go in details, allow me just to say something about today's meeting. I consider to be a great opportunity for me to be part and parcel with this meeting. Indeed, it is a great meeting, and I believe African youths who are present today, they are not going to be the same by the end of today's meeting. You agree with me that Africa, it is a blessed continent, and if I stand to be corrected, it is one of the biggest continents we have. So it is blessed with so many resources where opportunities are plenty in Africa. So DrTP, we are so much grateful for this wonderful occasion you have organized for us. Just to be quick, before I invite our speaker, our DrTP, I just want to say something about today's speaker. Our speaker is one of the great speakers. He has a very huge CV. If we are to go through the work he has done, we can consume the whole minutes we have for today's meeting. So I will invite our doc just to go straight into the meeting, and then we hear what he has for us. Doc, I'm calling upon you. Thank you very much.
Namaste. I'm glad that we could make this happen today. I think among all the people who joined here, my earliest association was with Dr. Pramod Pathak, who is a very senior professor of one of the great national institutes of India. We met not in India, we met in Fiji. We were on a conference and we traveled together. We lived together for a few days. It was a great experience and knowledge. And he is back to Hyderabad, my own town where I am staying. So we thought we will have more associations to find what best we can do. The other day I had a talk on discussions on controlling the mind, spirituality. I draw Maslow's principles, the basic management principle with the materialistic, emotional, intellectual, social and spiritual. So I keep saying spiritually when you reach higher, probably most of the other problems becomes insignificant in your life. This is nice to say when you have everything in the pyramid. If we talk about spiritual growth when you don't even have food for day-to-day life, I think it doesn't happen. So as human being, we are looking for reaching to the end of the pyramid, and if we want to stay there for permanent, our base needs to be corrected. The second person with whom I have maximum number of interaction is my sister Justine from Namibia. We have met in many of my talks. When I was teaching Bhagavad Gita, Justina used to attend. And most of my talks, Justina is part and parcel of my discussion. We had a great music group in which Justina sang many times. So I was looking at different aspects of different activities. And one person who has not shown the face almost the same time when I had interaction, it's almost 1.5 to 2 years. Niramaya is a very beautiful word. And last week I was there in his farm. He has a nice center where people can be accommodated, trained, and he has got experience of farming, experience of spiritual life, how it can be connected to farming, agriculture. He is a running example. Just now we saw G.B.K. Rao. We also have Niramaya, who is planning to have a similar experience. So I am connected to many of them. So when I have sent the video link for my lecture, I was so glad. Immediately my brother Mule Yugane jumped on me and said, we have a great problem of looking at what youth in Africa is doing. Same problem Justine was talking, and then we were discussing for last 6 to 8 months. So what we thought is, I am sure today if everybody has got internet, everybody is very good in technology, this meeting would have had 100 people. Because I had got at least 40 people who are in contact with me saying that no network, no connection. So that's where when we believe that India is so blessed. And Africa is having a real problem in connectivity. Not even connectivity, it's very costly also. Because of the cost, they are not affordable for them. How can we think about a digital connection when food itself is not there? Right? With so much of abundance of natural resources, probably one group of people who are really suffering in the whole world is Africa. Without no natural resources, Gulf is in full plenty of luxuries. See the imbalance what we have. Gulf have nothing except oil from the underground. Africa has oil from the underground. It has also have oil palm trees on the top of the ground. But still, the youth is really in full trouble for survival. So how do we make a small helping hand? We cannot make large difference. We are not that influential political people. But I am sure small group of people together. Now Justina has got a responsibility of uniting every country in Africa the representatives of youth, and she has got a responsibility of giving some benefit for their life patterns. And Mulaya Igono, my brother, when he spoke to me, he said he is more concerned about the psychological issues. Because when you don't have physical conditions, the next effect will be psychological issue. So what will happen to the youth? They will get into drugs. They will get into all public nuisance activities around them. So how do we take care of motivating them to become more productive, giving a conscious living? That is why I kept the title as conscious living. There is no point in philosophically saying we need to have practical solutions. That is where I thought probably agriculture, small production activities. Yesterday I was talking to one of my friend who is running a real business of making small packets, cups, plates, lot of farming, agriculture related, not necessarily agriculture, horticulture alone. You have got, you can produce lot of meat and very specific brand of chickens are available which will give 365 days eggs, right? And some only they need a very specific care of feeding them. If we can feed them perfectly well, I am sure they give you the best benefit and you can do business out of it. So these are all the things which I thought we will have to, it will not be over in one discussion, but I am sure we can have continuous interactions in which we will be able to support you in this. Or maybe I may not be directly able to support, but I am sure I can connect to people who can help you out in this. That is the same time, Manish also was in discussion from Nepal. And I did not open it up to everybody, only very specific invitations were given because I know when I try to connect to Africa, this problem is there. They have a network problem. So many times when it is not first time, many times when I tried to connect to Africa, not even single person could join because they had a network problem. So I cannot make a webinar very extensive with only African people. That is why I did not invite many of them. Only few African people along with few of my good friends, I made them to join. If Pramodji can give some inputs, or maybe Narendraji Niramaya also is there. If you could add some values. I know Narendraji from Niramaya is also attending some other program parallelly. He is under a farming training, agriculture training programs. Yeah, Pramodji.
Yes, Sachin, thank you. And of course, I'm very happy to be connected with my friends from Africa. In fact, I had the opportunity of having two of my students from Ghana. So, in my MBA class, but of course, they were from very affluent families, and naturally, because that is how they can afford to be in the IIT. So, the real problems which the youth of Africa face, maybe I'm not very aware of those problems, and the problem is that those problems are not given out or brought out in the mainstream media that is published in India. So we are not very aware of what exactly the youth over there face. But given my, say, experience as a student of psychology, I understand one thing, that when you are, not having anything meaningful or productive to do, you resort to what we call non-desirable or undesirable behavioral patterns. And one of those likely outcomes of that is substance abuse. So I don't know what is the exact position over there, but substance abuse can be an issue among the youth over there. the important thing over here is that how to make them engage meaningfully. That is the crux, because it is an old saying that an empty mind is a devil's workshop. So the challenge is to fill that mind with something meaningful, something engaging, something worthwhile. So in fact, what we have done through this webinar is that you have connected those people to one another, and again to at least two of us. And I think it's going to be a long drawn process by which we can in fact say make some impact, although how significant that impact will be still remains to be there in the womb of the future. But I think small efforts, meaningful efforts, sincere efforts, they do make a difference. So I think I'll have to know more about what is happening on the ground over there. So those ground realities, unless we come to know, I think it will be difficult for me to come with some what we call useful suggestions that will help the youth reconstruct and reorient themselves. But yes, the solution is very clear, that they have to reconstruct and reorient themselves. I don't know about the education system. I don't know about the day-to-day routine of those youth. And I also don't know about what other avenues and what is the family structure and things like that, the social structure, the society. So those information need to come to us, and then maybe after that we'll be able to come to some what we call programs, some suggestions that may help them. So as of now, what I can suggest is that one simplest way to engage meaningfully is to make them study, make them educate themselves. And education is one what we call way of translating resources into results. Now, as you said, and as I am also aware, that Africa is very rich in resources. But despite that, it is poor in GDP and other economic indices. So it shares something in common with the state where I was born in India, Jharkhand. Jharkhand also is very rich in resources, but it is one of the poorest states in India. So taking a cue from there, what we need to do is that to make these resources of Africa productive, we need to train, we need to change the mindset of the youth, we need to give them right direction as to how they are going to use those resources for development of their own families, their own economy, and the entire society. So as far as my, in fact, understanding is concerned, I think that is the way out. And in order to make the efforts more meaningful, we'll have to have more interactions and more knowledge about the place.
Good. It was really nailing the real requirement. Maybe that is why I said probably we will have a mentors navigation program where we need some leaders who will understand the problems and then present it to us. We will have discussion, take examples, and then samples, solutions for that can be suggested. Maybe Thomas, Muley, and Justin who joined today are those people who could contribute to that. We have Clement also. He's from Congo.
Yes.
Yeah. Anybody?
I want to check this. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. First and foremost, DrTPS for the powerful submission that you have given. You have made it very clear in the prefix that
May I speak something, sir? Oh, sure.
And Africa has got a great considerable number of youths who have had the potential and the capacity to turn the intangible forces of life into a practical reality. But however, it is unfortunate to realize that Africa, despite having the vast natural resources, Africa has failed, to be more precise, to discover means and ways on how sufferings can be eradicated in our different geographical boundaries within the continent. We're taking note of the challenges that are causing Africa not to develop. In Africa, if you go to the Western countries, you find that there are civil wars there. We have poor education systems in Africa. Huge, colossal amounts of monies have been pumped in, monies that are borrowed from advanced countries to improve our communities. But these are monies that we have not seen reaping out positive effects in our community. We have seen also bad government leadership. In many countries in Africa, politicians have taken charge of the national resources. The youths especially do not have the capacity to grow their spaces because everything is controlled by a few elite individuals whom we have entrusted with the power to run the resources of these countries or the countries within Africa. Corruption is an animalistic friend which has continued to feed from the spirits of youths. The youths are not allowed to grow their spaces because those that have got the privilege to rule or preside over the natural resources of Africa have taken charge of everything. They have been working extremely hard to advance their personal agendas, thereby improving their welfares and the welfares of their families, to be more precise. The land, like DrTPS stated, you stressed an issue of agriculture. I want to make it very clear that in Africa, agriculture is one among the many activities or sector that has been improving or growing at a gradual scale. In Zambia particularly, the government of today has realized the need to pump in resources in the agricultural sector with an embedded aim of improving the youth's lifestyle or the standards of living for the youths. However, I want to state that it is not everyone who has the technical know-how or the understanding or the knowledge which is needed in order to go about the agricultural practices. More especially, Africa has been hard hit with the inadequate number of technological equipment or equipment that is needed to advance the agricultural production in the spaces of Africa, precisely Zambia. Thank you so very much, Doc, for the powerful submission. And you say, like Mr. Eugene Smollett stated, that one of the issues that has been affecting Africans or African youths, it has to do with the mindset. We have to deal more with the psychological issues. It is only when we begin to restructure our thinking capacity, when we begin to restructure or reposition ourselves, it is then that we will begin to understand what it is we must do as a whole to improve our spaces. You asked the question, you posed the question by saying,
बस Done.
I think Thomas.
Shashi,
Yeah. Pramod.
Shashi,
Yes.
I just now talked to one of my students in Ghana.
Oh,
Her name is Gladys. I have sent the link. Maybe she joins.
sure. Welcome.
So I told her because Ghana is supposed to be one of the rich African countries. Yeah.
Correct.
So let's see what she has to contribute.
Good.
Let's get.
Yeah. Thomas, you could continue. You are muted, Thomas. Some sound.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we had one forward, we had the promoter forward.
She has joined there.
Yeah, sir.
What Africa is, and we appreciate his contribution. He says that it does not though have an
Shashi, she has joined.
Yeah,
It's not there.
I just saw. Yeah, sir, Mayor.
understanding of what constitutes Africa and the challenges.
I think Thomas has got a network problem. Your sound is breaking. Welcome, Yasha, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Pranams.
And he emphasized with the relatively that there is indeed a need to begin reconstructing and allowing the youth to
Maybe Mulaya or Baulia,
Mr.
Yasha, Mayor can
Can
speak.
we invite Mr. Justin?
Yeah.
Nathaniel? Mr. Justin Nathaniel, if you can get me, you can unmute your mic.
Yeah. Somebody.
Okay.
Thomas can mute. Thomas can mute.
Okay.
Thomas can mute. Yeah.
You can open it.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Daddy. Thank you, DrTPS. And thank you, Dr. Pamon. Thank you for my brothers, all from Africa. I am very, very happy for the step you take. And I know together with our daddy, may I call him daddy, don't worry. I just have this is a heavy respect to him. And we call him, he's a doctor. We call him everything for us. Since I meet him, it is like I get something that he clean up my way to go. You see, when you have a dustbin, then you are in the dustbin. You can't move. But when I met with my daddy, everything started to be clear. Africa continent, Africa, we are crying. Imagine from our granny until with our youth today, nothing will happen. Nothing good they can do for us. As Thomas said, when it is coming for the government, whoever step in, he promised that when I go there, I will change this. I will do this for youth. I will do this for youth. But when he enter to the position, he just make all those things for the family. When it is coming for agriculture, when they say they want to send the youth to school just for training. If I stand now, I go to my government, I tell them, they will accept it, but they cannot send me on behalf. I'm the one who bring the idea, but they send their own family. And from there, they cannot even put the things for the whole country. They make their own. It means our leaders, they just want for their own. They don't care about the nation. But for us, we already see it, and we are so tired for this. We want to step we want to do as we are a group now. Number one, we cry for training. If we get even 50 youth that be full training in agriculture and full training, whatever it is coming, we will have a nation. Because youth, they are the people that think their minds are fresh. If you train them, they can take more than 15 years. That train are still in their mind. But even the toothpick here in Namibia, let me talk about Namibia. The toothpick we received from South Africa. Even a barber we received from South Africa. We don't anything, even the tomato. We don't have agriculture for tomato here that can provide, that can really give everything for Namibia. We just have them. They always export for us. Until when? But we have a good land, a big land, but they don't want to give you that land because they already prepare for their children. They are prepared already for their family. Now, if we stand and we get a training, we know that we bring difference. My heart was crying, and God answered my prayer. He made me to lead the whole youth and the children, the whole Africa. And that is really good for me because I want a change. I don't want to work by myself, but I want to see youth are really work. And when it is coming for psychology, youth cannot do anything because if you are a poor, you don't have anything. You didn't have anything to earn. That person. It is going only to his mind or her mind, just to think what is coming tomorrow. He just go to drink or go to sell himself or go to do evil so that he can just earn something. But how can we took all these people on their situation? How you cannot just give them food to eat and say no. Don't go to the prostitute because that is her job. It's where she gets a bread to feed her children. But it's not her. She don't want to do it. But she thinks she takes the problem away from her. But she don't know she bring a big problem for her. But if we have a plan, we come up with a plan. And then we say, okay, nowadays, let me take this group and train them. And have a land, and we give them to say, okay, 50 youth stay here in this agriculture. For you, for your way, it's just to take care for this garden. Whatever it comes, we provide. We are going to sell. Those small money we earn, we took the profit, we took the rest, and the profit we divided to you. Now you do something. But if we just always speak, but you cannot take a step, it is wasting. Don't wait for your government to do for you good nowadays. If you have a good plan, don't give it to don't show them. Step far from them. For you, come, finish your study, finish your research first. Make a research and come with a paper and show them that, okay, I finished my research. I was India. They trained for me in agriculture. Here is the paper. Give me a land. Here is, I have my seed to plant. I have everything to do. I have a connection with DrTPS. He will give us a people that willing to train for us. I have a Dr. Paramount. He will help us for those psychology head. These people, when you give them all details that you are done already, is where there is no way they will allow you to do. But if you go to them and you ask them, help me money, I want to go to India to be trained in agriculture, in herbals, in what else, that you just give idea for their family. They say, okay, wait, give us your business plan. You give to them, but they are going to they replace your name and they place their own name. Africa, we must open our eyes. We must do something quick before time. Before the third world come, let's do something. Brothers in Africa, connect me so that we can be closer to DrTPS before time. Let we grab that he give to us before. And Dr. Pramont and DrTPS, here is we are. Help us in this time. We don't know if we are not no more. How our children going to be survived? Hear our cry before time and take a step and do something for us. When we require something, help us to give us idea which one is the best and which one is not the best. Thank you for everything. I'm very, very appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's well said. I know the problems what Justina is telling because we had discussions many times. Maybe Yasha Mayer has something to say. Is the way I call the name is correct? Pramodji, you could call her.
I call her Gladys.
Okay.
Gladys.
Gladys, my daughter. Unmute yourself, show your face.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Hello Gladys, how are you?
Yes, sir.
Video.
I can hear you.
Video on.
Switch on your video.
Hello, sir. Sir, please, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I can't hear anyone. I don't know if you can hear me.
But anyway, thank you for adding me to this wonderful discussion. I've heard just a few, but I understand that what Mom was trying to say was that we can come together and do something for ourselves as Africans. So I have been a student under Professor Pramon Patakse and also a research scholar, and I've been in India for 5 to 6 years. So I wasn't sponsored by the government. It was my dad who did, and I know how expensive it is. So if there are ways we could have scholarship to train the youth in order to learn and then come back home and then also apply what they are being taught, I think it will help all of us. Yeah, I'm so sorry I'm at the outside, so a little bit of noise here and there. I didn't know I would have been in the office for this. But what we do at All Nations University in Ghana is that we give some students scholarship like every year. We give like 100 scholarships for the youth to train them for their first degrees. That's what we do. That has been the philosophy for All Nations University. So we are doing our best. We can also help anyone who is also interested to come to Ghana and have their first degree. So thank you. I don't know if I'm okay or if there's anything else you want me to talk about. Sir?
Yeah, it was a new addition. Probably we will have more interaction. And what we are looking at is how to make the youth engaged productively so that their life standard can be improved.
Hello?
Yes.
Can I come in, though?
Yeah, sure. Welcome.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm enjoying the conversation, to be honest. This is a very great move, Doc, you have provided for us Africans. I agree with what my previous speakers they have said concerning about the welfare of Africa. Indeed, Africa needs serious help. Young people constitute a rapid growth population of Africa, of most countries in Africa. Economic crises have brought many challenges to the youths, and I strongly believe that unemployment is the biggest problem facing by African youths. Young people in Africa have developed what I call a dependence syndrome. This dependence syndrome has really affected us. We are depending on our parents, we are depending on politicians and donor aid, which I strongly disagree to this. I believe if we are to receive an empowerment through education, remember what Nelson Mandela once said, that education is the best tool which will transform our lives. So just like what Justin and Mayor they have said, we really need education. If we are to give us an opportunity to be integrated, to be considered in your programs, that would be great for us. We are lacking a lot in terms of education. I have a good friend of mine who once visited India, and they have really testified how education it is in India. No wonder they are seeing some of these challenges here in Africa. So we are lacking a lot of education. Just to get a scholarship in Africa, it is something which is so challenging. People consider their relatives first, and then other people comes later. If you don't have connection, you are not going to get a scholarship. Now we are talking about a developing country. How are we going to be developed if we are not helping one another? That is the mistake I've identified in Africa. I'm sure India can testify on this one. Everyone have the minimum of a bachelor's degree. I have my colleagues who are teaching at DMI St. Eugene. A lot of them who are coming from India. They are young, but with masters. It's a lot of qualification. So I was asking them one day, you guys, what is the criteria? I was shocked when he said that education in our country is plenty. But here in Africa, Just to access your bachelor's degree, you need to spend colossal sums of money. No wonder most youths, they are failing to attain higher education because of that. So if we can be connected, we roll out this one to almost all the African countries. Believe you me, Africa will be the best continent. Majority of youths in Africa, they make up to 60% of the population of Africa. We are the youths. We need to be exposed to all these things we're talking about. Thank you so very much, Dr. TP and Path for this initiative, because we know that by the end of this training, our life shall not be the same. And it is our prayer that even other countries which are not present, we need to roll out this thing. My fellow brothers and sisters in Africa who are present here, let's work together. I have posted a link for our WhatsApp group in Africa. Follow that link, join the link so that we can discuss these things at length. Let's share our email addresses. We need to get connected to our two fathers in the house. Another thing which I would love to talk about, it is the issue of what my brother Thomas said it earlier on. Politicians in Africa, they have come to destroy us. They are using us as youths to mobilize. Once they get into their offices, they do forget us. This is the worry thing which has come to us. We are good to mobilize for them. Once we mobilize for them, they are there in offices. They do forget us. Politicians, they have killed us. We have been used as tools for violence, not for development. No wonder we find that most African youth, they are addicted to alcohol and drug abuse, because that is the only thing we can afford to do. So once we receive that empowerment of education, I believe most African youths will be there to support. Just like what Justin said, I do get worried when I ask myself this question. How is it going to be for the next generation to come? Because I've seen out every day. What about 50 years from now? The next generation, how are they going to survive? So Africa, I'm telling you, are going through a lot of problems. I'm going to end here to leave room for others to participate. But I have Clement. Clement is an expert in agriculture. I want Clement to say something about agriculture. Thank you very much, Doc. I'll come in for another question, for another point. Thank you.
Hello?
Clement, you can come in.
Thank you, Eugene. Hello, good after this afternoon or morning. Good morning, Doc, and good morning, everyone. Are you getting me?
Yes, Clement, welcome. Go ahead.
You.
Thank you very much. Okay. Yes, I agree with everyone's views and everyone's comments, everyone's grievances about politicians here in Africa, particularly Zambia, where I am, and some members, some participants. I agree indeed that we really need scholarships in education, more specifically in agriculture, not mostly in theory part, because most of the universities that we have here in Africa or here in Zambia, you'll notice that when you go to school in agriculture, what's there mostly is theory. And in most cases, when you graduate from those schools, here is a degree order, here is a diploma order, but when it comes to when he or she is employed on the ground, is failing to perform because that practical skill is not really there. Most of the universities, what they offer is theory and instead of practicals. So most of them underperform as they come in the field or as they come to establish their own businesses because they didn't experience the practical part of view. So it is very much important that you help us in this area, more especially in offering practical-based agricultural skills from outside the country. I think so. A lot of people, they have testified about India and also other countries where they offer practical agriculture skills, whereby even as they are done, they come back to Zambia or in respective countries. I think so they are able to do one or two things on their own, which is what we want here in Zambia or here in Africa. And then most of the youths here in Africa, I agree with my colleagues, they are engaged in a lot of unacceptable activities because they are lacking what we call connections to go to access the scholarship. It becomes very much difficult. I think so. I am of the one. I can share also a testimony because I'm one of the member or one of the 16 who really wants a scholarship outside to do my masters. But I've tried several times. Find out when you go there, they'll pick someone else, but you are the one who brought the idea. But they'll pick someone else who is not even interested in agriculture. When that person comes, he or she won't contribute to the community because that was not his interest. And people with good interest, people with good visions in terms of agriculture, they are left behind here in the country. And then others who are not interested, they are taken outside to learn what they don't need, to learn what they don't want. So they will be less effective as they come back. So it's very much important that we come together and find means and ways of putting ourselves together so that those people who are interested in practical skills, especially in agriculture, I think so they are looked upon and given skills so that as they come back, they'll be able to train others and also do something on their own. At the end of the day, they'll be contributing something to the nation. At the end of the day, the gross domestic product for agriculture will increase. And Zambia slowly will be developing, and also Africa at large. Thank you very much. I leave time for others also to contribute.
Thank you, Clement. Yeah, we know in India also we get people with the degrees, but non-productive degrees, right? It is only certificates. We need to be on the ground to work. So I'm so glad that we have Narendra ji from Niramaya, Akshara. He is into the real productive educative programs together, which is called Niramaya. Niramaya, the word itself is a great word. Yeah, Narendra ji.
Namaste to everyone. Nice to see many enthusiastic people, and glad to know that you're taking some initiatives, or at least there is a desire, an intention to go beyond the barriers. And it's not that India does not have problems. Okay, it doesn't matter which country you go. I mean, I've been in America for 25 years, and there are issues. I'm brought up in born and grown up in India. Yes, there are issues. Okay, it doesn't matter. I think as human beings, we are born in certain places for a reason. Okay. And the tasks or challenges are given to you by your birth, okay, because you are chosen to be able to face them and come out of them and transform ourselves as well as the places we are born in, okay. So we don't have to be in that, and
continuously thinking about the problem does not solve the problem. Okay, so they are given to us. We are human, right? There is a difference between a plant, animal, and human. Okay, so the task of the ability to evolve, the human has a higher potential to transform. Okay, so as long as we are talking about the problem itself, it only makes it worse. It does not change much. Okay, and I am glad to hear so many people thinking towards solving that. That's the beauty of this meet. And believe me, the work I do, DrTPS knows, we go against the stream. Okay, and the system issues are everywhere. Okay, but the real transformation to happen, people who realize it, what DrTPS is doing, what I am doing, and there are many people who do such things. We face issues, but the thing is, our target is clear. We want to make sure that despite all the concerns and worries, how can we be focused? How can we be collective? How can we raise our consciousness on the issues which are bothering or worrisome, especially in the futuristic point of view? When we talked about next generations, okay, it really, we need to really pave a path, and that's pretty much every father and every mother thinks that my next children should have a better life than us, right? And we want them to be smarter than us, and we want them to be happier than us, right? That's every parent. Just any animal also will have that, okay? And as humans, we definitely have that, okay? The only thing is, either it is damaging or improving. It's both in our hand. What we pick, what path we take, and what efforts we are putting towards creating those paths. Okay. Yes, problems are there. Definitely, it can be political, it can be financial, it can be policy based, it can be community level, lack of connectiveness, lack of collectiveness. Okay, but no doubt. But we need to narrow down. We need to narrow down to fundamentally what we can do as a group, as a team. Okay. And a common problem, what I heard from everyone else, as well as what we have seen around the world also, is the common principle we came down to is divide and rule. Okay. So it doesn't matter what. If somebody wants to sell you some new product, they will divide you from your own culture. They will intimidate and they will make jokes about your traditional practices. Okay, and they'll make you feel that you are low, and then if you buy this and use this product, then you're superior. You'll be beautiful, or you'll look better. So things like that. In many ways, I mean, this is capitalistic point of view, and politically also. Some religious aspects also. There are so many ways people come and tell you how to divide people. They know how to divide and then have a control over population. Okay, so what I hear from all of you is you experienced that, the pain of it. Okay, and now you're thinking of connecting, coming together. That's the most beautiful thing. Okay, so we need to come together. Yes, we need to become collective. Yes. Okay, so we need to give up certain things to do that. Okay, and you have to have really passion and a desire to, an intention to do something positive, do something great going forward. Okay, and from our side, as DrTPS and I think Dr. Pramod ji also said, if once we decide, once we make a decision and put our intention together, the whole world will come down. It's in the air. Okay, the help is available. You don't need to doubt about that. Okay, the force will accommodate your thought and efforts. Okay, we just need to have that intention of coming together and have that intention of putting effort, doing, coming together and working on, solving a problem. Okay. So from my side, from the side of India, and there are many organizations, there are many institutes, there are plenty of NGOs also. What is like a non-profit organizations and non-organizations, social work organizations. Okay, and I work with many of them. I myself run a non-profit organization. So, it's our daily work. This is what we do regularly. So we educate, okay, and we train them, from all levels. We are training mothers, what all they need to know to run a family properly. Okay, and the parents, both together, the whole family, how the family can be healthy and happy, the emotional balance, the communication skills, okay, the manners, or everything needed to be a good human being, and how to work together with others. Okay, and we do teacher training also. If somebody want to teach, you don't need to be a teacher only in the school or college. You can teach in the community. Okay, so you can take up your own street, you can take up your own local close by area, and we can enhance the children. I mean, see, when you're talking about education, there are problems. Yes, there will be problems. Okay, and but that's not the end of the road. Okay, it is calling for your part, what you want to play. Yes, there are problems. So what do you want to do about it? Is it not your challenge? Right? So if I look at it that way, that yes, there are problems, I see such a things in this, so let me make a difference, let me participate, let me take a step forward. Can we do that? Take our own neighborhood and gather a few people, let it be whatever the age area you can contribute, gather them, put like an hour a week, or half an hour, or a day, whatever you can think of. Just gather you kids and teach few things. It doesn't have to be only a textbook and only a school-based, exam-based. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay, if you're making a dish, let us say one day, just you can invite few children or few youth to be part of it. Let them learn. Let them do that along with you, and let them learn how to do it. I'm just giving you an example. I mean, there are so many things we can do that way. We can take like a participatory, movement. Okay, so if your concern is agriculture, okay, so there are many ways we can accommodate that, and many ways we can solve. I mean, at least contribute to the progress you are looking for, and to solve a problem. I mean, basically. To solve anything, even if it is like a headache or fever, you really need to understand what that is, how, what is the intensity and what is the length and breadth of it, to provide a proper solution. Solutions also can be many, but if we don't understand the problem and try to give a treatment, we don't know how the results will be, right? So understanding the problem, of course, you can be worried about the problem, and you can try to understand the problem. There are two different things. Okay, I hope you're getting my point. Okay, being worried is one thing, and actually trying to understand what the problem is another thing. And finding a solution is no big deal. Okay, there is no problem we cannot solve. Of course, there are some divine interventions like thunder or rain. You cannot stop rain, right? Things like that. I'm not talking about those. But anything emotionally, thoughtfully, in the common social issues, any of the problems really can be worked on. We can progress forward, and if you really want to solve these things, we really need to be systematic. Okay, gather the information, gather the contributing factors, make it precise, make a clear presentation of those things. And what are the potential possibilities where we can affect more feasibly? Okay, I think we need to discuss those, and definitely we can take care of it. Any country, see for us, whole globe, whole world is family for us. These are all the divisions of this country names and all that is like all, for socio-political, administrative purposes, they are there. But, being human itself, it doesn't have to be a dividing factor. Okay, we all can make this world beautiful, and we just need to do our part, our bit, and let that be in a collective way. We can definitely do wonderful things. I'm sure we can take it forward, and if anything we can do from our side, please let us know, and we'll do our best. Okay, thank you very much.
That was, I'm sure, must have opened the eyes of people like Justin, Clement, Molia, Emmanuel, Baulia, et al. Anybody else who wanted to say, or we will call it a day and see that what next we can do with very specific requirements, informations and plans. Justin, have any questions to ask? She is the one who has got some very specific plans, and because we were in discussion for a long time.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah.
I have another question also. Dr. Nehemiah, it's not a question, but it's, I want to add something again. We are part of agriculture. We saw also in India there is a lot of machine. You people have a machine to make a paper plate, paper cake, make shoes, make baba. If we have opportunity, our youth to be training on those machines, number one, it take a problem for work in our Africa. It bring many opportunity. It open many opportunity for the youth to work to get something by their own. We saw this machine, but we don't know how can we get this machine, or who going to training for us through this machine. Dr. Nehemiah, we need more information for all this machine, and a person who ready to training for our children. We are ready. Africa is ready now. We just need the full, the good people that want to offer to training our youth, so that we can send it so that our youth be training for many things. As I told you later, even the toothpick, Namibia cannot produce themselves. Imagine a toothpick. Even the toilet paper. I saw also you have a toilet paper machine. But if we can do all those things, we really help our youth. Thank you so much, Dr. Nehemiah.
Yeah,
I'm really appreciated.
Yeah, my sister Justin, yesterday I was talking to somebody who owns such machines, who is producing. Yes. What he feels is, in India especially, the problem is we have very specific machines which can produce plates not of paper, whatever we get out of leaf, out of the leaves of arecanut tree. So many machines are there.
Wow.
But what happens is, if he has got a machine, he produces so many. That many market is not there in India today. So your investment, assume that you have, assume that you are producing paper plate or maybe glasses. The biggest problem, plate is okay, but when you make a glass, the transportation cost is more than the production cost. So you cannot expect what is produced in your city can be sold in the next city. Only if you can sell it in your city, you can produce it. You understood? So, Justin doesn't require training now. Justin require a training to understand what are all that which has a market first. I am a management professor. Pramod Saab is also a management professor. So we don't produce because it is easy to produce, because we have items which are required. We require 5 things in management: money, mission, manpower, right? What is the other one? Most important is market.
Yes.
Material is there. When you say Arakanut is there, but in that place nobody uses it. You will have to make it and sell it to somewhere else, right? So most important, what is that you have in your place which is having a demand? Number 1, demand supply. So first you must understand what you have, or you can create demand. If it is not there today, no problem. But you can create demand, right?
Yes.
Identify, and these missions are not big problems where you need a great training. If I am selling the mission, it is my job to come to Africa, install it there and show you how you can use it. So those people who are selling mission, they are giving training by themselves. Okay. So I remember when these missions were not mechanized, automatic, computer oriented and all, you don't require. You require only a mechanical mission where you have a hot plate which goes and presses. Plates can be made. The aluminium plates, which we have a big factory in Hyderabad, in many places around Hyderabad, we make a lot of machineries. We don't require. If you are producing large number, you need a great tool. But you are making for learning, for small, you don't require large machines. First decide what is the material you have, what is the market you have. If these 2 things are decided, we will design missions for you. We will help your engineers to make missions in your place.
Wow.
It require only heating and pressing, nothing else. And you want to make out of paper, you want to make a bag, I can teach you in 10 minutes. I myself make bags.
Wow.
It's a craft only, it is nothing great. Okay, you want to learn tailoring, you need maybe one month training program. You want to stitch dress? Yes. You want to learn how to stitch a dress? 1 month, 2 months, 10 people can come. I can put you in a place where they will train you tailoring, stitching and send you back. You want agriculture? I am sure what we should do is, we should not go to a place where everything is there. We should go to a place nothing is there and then make it to grow and see in front of you it has grown. Do the same exercise in your place. Correct? So I am sure our brother Narendra ji will be able to help you in making agriculture, but 5 people or 10 people decide to come stay here. Okay. Food accommodation, Niramaya want to take or I should take? We will take your shelter.
We all can do that.
Yeah, we all can do that. Food and accommodation is guaranteed.
We are eating anyway, we will just add 2 cups more, that's all.
Yeah. Food and accommodation we will provide you free, no charge. From airport to the place, giving you back, we will take care. Showing you around India, some places we will take care. All that can be done. But you have to come here, land here. That is your job. And don't come for 5 days. If it is agriculture, you decide that you come for a very specific time. What you want to learn, you decide. Stay here, work with us. We will make that happen, grow. And then you take the seed and then go.
Okay.
Think. So don't think about plate making, cup making, napkin making and all that. That is a different job. Okay.
Yes.
that also can be seen. We can look at different places, where is it being made, who is making it, who is selling it, all that can be done. I remember in Kerala, when I was a professor in a university, we had many people who wanted such missions. We installed, nothing is working now. You understood? As I thought I will get him also join here. With the people he is making and selling bags for most of the temples in Kerala. We don't use plastic bags, only paper bags. I used him how many years back? 20 years back, to train students in schools. So he is still there. Yesterday also I spoke to him. I was asking him, and he knows how to make a buffalo, how to make a milk product, egg product. I was telling 365 days egg. There are small chicken you can buy. They will grow up to big hen. Every day they will produce eggs for next 5 years. There are special varieties, right? There are many ways of making different related to all culture. These are all culture: horticulture, agriculture, sericulture. Any culture you want, we can have. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Yes, Narendraji, correct, no?
Yes. Just want to add one point. So the mechanization or automation should be an added benefit or a complementary facilitation. But our skill should be more of hand skills, our own skills. I mean, sir talked about the tailoring, like, how to cut, how to make the design. That should be our skill. Mechanization can come later to enhance, to capacity building, volume expansion, things like that. But skill, the hand skill and mind skill about what we want to do, that's what need to be understood, learned, or trained. Okay, mechanization is not a problem at all. Yes, it can contribute. It is beneficial, but that should be an added point, not the primary point.
Yeah, Pramodji, correct? No,
Yes, very good. In fact, that is what I wanted to say. That it is the emphasis on cottage industry and handiwork and handicraft that makes the difference. Machines may be there, may not be there, but for self-sufficiency, you can create small markets by using your hands and your skills.
I learned cutting, stitching when I was in 7th class. And we had machines which are not the big one, the handheld one, tick, 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 tick. Yeah. We have handheld ones also to stitch, which will be 50 rupees. You can have a stitching machine. If you are skillful, you don't require big machines.
That was the entire focus of Gandhi's economics.
Yes. And I learned it, I used it, I stitched my own dress also.
Can I come in, though?
Yeah.
Can I come in?
Yeah, come in.
All right. Thank you very much. I do appreciate for the ideas which are flowing in the house. Yes. Indeed, we need hand-on trainings. Just like what Justin Nathaniel was saying, I was watching a certain documentary from India on the production of reusable sanitary towels for ladies with brackets. It was so amazing. They were using raw materials from banana trees. They can produce reusable sanitary towels. Those are the skills we need, dog, in Africa. Imagine each time our HYW, they need to buy those sanitary towels, disposable ones, which are too expensive. They are above $1. So if we can be trained in those areas on how to make reusable sanitary towels, number one, we are going to create opportunities for HYW youths in Africa. That's what we need. the sewing machines. If we can have the sewing machines, we're going to bring our women's in together so that they start doing those businesses. Those are the skills we need. Just like what Mayor said. 2 years ago, I was doing a research on toothpick. Zambia is importing toothpick from China. And yet we are blessed with a lot of bamboos, with a lot of timber. So we can produce toothpick from timber, from bamboos. Zambia has a lot of bamboos. We are just cutting them. We are going to do with now climate change. So if we can have skills, trainings on how to do those things, and then we are provided with machines, we can start producing toothpick. China has made a lot of money in Africa, to be specific in Zambia. Imagine just a toothpick coming all the way from China, and yet we have materials which we can use. So those are the skills we need to be trained, so that we understand how to be making our own product. We have a lot of things in Africa. Number one, we are going also to work on the climate change once we are trained in those areas. Because once we have the reusable sanitary towels, somebody can use them for almost a year. Disposing of waste things, we are going to keep those. Hence, climate change, we are reducing it. So I do appreciate for this initiative, and I see to it that next time when we meet, we are going to come up with something. I'll work around with my friends from other countries. I'm going to communicate to them. We come up with a presentation, more like a proposal, what we want to do as Africans. No wonder I have forwarded my email address. I have also forwarded the WhatsApp group for Africa. So let's quickly join. Let's begin to communicate. We need to do a research. We have experts like Yaya Salamea, we have Justin, we have Clement, expert from agriculture, and other people have joined. Let's work together as a team so that Africa can be independent from these guys who are exploiting Africa. I think we'll do a lot of submission through the presentation we're going to submit to you, sir, in a few days to come. Thank you very much for every offer you have offered us. We really appreciate for this initiative. It is just worrisome that few Africans they have joined. It could be the issue of internet. No wonder most of the people they have failed to access this program. But I believe next time we are going to have masses. Yes, and I appreciate. I don't know if it was being recorded. You send the recording so that others may. Okay, thank you very much, Doc. Others they may watch it later on. Otherwise, a fruitful program. Let's keep it up. We really appreciate for your sacrifice and for your offer you have given us. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I always feel that there is a problem for internet for Africa. That's what I told. So what should be done is, you as a group join some place and then let us have the group also be part of it. Last time we did it when Justine wanted, she made a few people to join in some place, and then where they projected and we were all talking to each other. That can be done. Good, nice.
So can I leave now?
Yes, I think we are already 2 hours, close to 2 hours, more than 2 hours, because we started before 1:30. When GBK wanted to go, I think Justin wanted to speak. I thought probably they met earlier also once or twice.
See you then.
Yeah, thank you. So it was nice, Narendraji. Great addition. And Shah Mayor also is a student of India in Pramodji's student. Pramodji and me met in Fiji when we went for Ramayana conference. We were speakers.
Okay.
He is a senior professor of management, contributes to newspapers regularly on issues of such things, and he is now planning to settle back in Hyderabad.
Oh, okay. All right.
Otherwise, he is from Dhanbad. So I thought I should also add him to become part of many of the activities which we do.
Absolutely. Where is he now?
He is now in Begumpet. Otherwise,
okay.
yeah, his son is working in Hyderabad, so he comes often, but now he is planning to shift permanently to Hyderabad.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was in where before?
Dhanbad, IIT, the earlier School of
Dhanbad.
Mines, Mining Institute.
Okay.
He was a management professor. He is part of many technical committees in India.
Okay.
So it was good.
That's good.
Malaya, we could make some breakthrough discussions. Very practical activities we should come to now. Action items. Instead of finding complaints why somebody is not doing. I always believe if somebody doesn't help, it is good. So you'll become yourself helpful. The best method is nobody should help you so that you will use your power to face problems in life. So Justin, it is good. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
So thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. We are all with you. Don't worry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, Doctor.
When are you going to have another one?
We will decide when you are ready. You can tell me back.
Sure, Doc.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See
Bye,
you next
close.
time.
Sure, Doc.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye,
See you
close.
next time.
Today's meeting.
It's all because of you.
And,
You wanted it, so I made it. That's it.
I'm humble, Doc. So you have seen that a lot of African youths, they really need your support.
See, I'll tell you, no psychological problem needs to be addressed. If I have sufficient job, I have no problems of mental problems are not there. So you have to be busy, 200% busy. Not
You're right.
100%, 200% busy. Then every problem.
No,
See, I'll tell you, there is no internet now for me. I connected from one phone. Another phone also I connected. I am recording it here. I am recording it here. I am also doing a screen grabbing. Because if it fails, that should work. If that fails, sound should come.
you are right.
So everybody has problems. But I should not
Indeed.
get worried about problems. I must look at solution.
That's good.
Always solution. Don't say, see, my battery for this can die, so I am charging it.
Yes.
My battery for the recorder can change, so I am charging it. See, everything is around me in hand. My main light can go, so I put a table light. So if
I like your preparedness.
somebody creates problem, I know how to solve it.
Those are the skills we are lacking.
All in one.
We are lacking. I've seen.
All in one
Oh.
connection.
We are lacking those skills.
We need to have.
Many are the problem causer, but few are the problem solver.
See, the battery is also there. You will see all gadgets. Battery is
I've
also
seen.
connected. Yeah. And not even that. Whatever you are saying, I am also writing it. Though I am digitally recording it, I have got a pen and paper.
Yes. Yeah. Even me, I was writing it. I was writing it.
Love you.
No, this is great.
Love
Thank
you.
you, Doc.
Love you for that.
Me too. So what we'll do, I'll get in touch with Justine and Maya Sarah. I'll get in touch with them and see how best we can do these things because we need a teamwork.
Yeah.
We need a teamwork so that we work together and also others who are going to join us.
See, the problem is Africa needs a very specific visa to come. Otherwise, if it is just taking a flight and coming, anybody can come here and there.
Yes, sir.
So we need to apply, we need to process, we need to stamp. All that is a must, right?
For
Let
real.
us see. Let us see. We will work something together.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Good initiative. Thank you. And
Right, you're most welcome.
Justin is a very, very enthusiastic lady.
Okay.
So
Yes, I've gotten our WhatsApp line.
I put both of you in another group, right? Which is not active.
Oh, okay.
I added both of you there
Sure.
so that both of you can make them good.
Okay, thank you very much. No, we'll do it.
You are there, both of you are there.
Oh, that group, I saw it.
Yes, they are not active. They didn't join today.
Okay.
But both of you I put
Okay.
there. But your group is active, Justina's group is also active.
Okay, no, I'm going to make it active
Yeah, you have to make them, brainwash them to make it good.
for you. So now with your support, definitely we'll do it.
Konga group.
Thank you. All right, no, please, good day. Enjoy the rest
Thank
of
you.
your day. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.